Why positive thinking alone keeps more women in business completely stuck and frustrated from moving towards their goals. You may be asking yourself, but I thought I was supposed to think positively. Well, today we're going to talk about what you actually need to start doing if you want to help get your brain and your body moving towards the goals that you actually want to achieve in your life and in your business. Well, my name is Karen Angeli, and I'm one of the co-founders here inside of Truth Bomb Marketing, and we help busy women create more time and money with a simple business playbook so that they can create their millions without sacrificing what's important to them. And today we're going to be talking all about the mind, all about positive thinking, and why positive thinking alone is actually keeping you stuck. If that sounds interesting and you want to hear more, go ahead and smash that subscribe button, tap the like, and let's get into this. So you may be asking yourself, Karen, I don't even understand what you're saying right now. Everybody out there is telling me that if I want to be successful, I have to think positive. I have to be thinking about all the good things that I want in my life and my business. And that is very true. But the piece of the puzzle that most of us are missing, myself included a lot of times, is that your body has a certain amount of pre-done programs that you've had running on in the background for years and years and years. Your body is in a lot of times a state of fight or flight. And when we're in a state of fight or flight, when we add things in like positive thinking, our brain is going, I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am whatever it is that you're thinking positively about. But your body is actually going, no, I'm in a state of fight or flight. This is not safe. I can't create right now. I can't create what it is that I need to create. And unfortunately, a lot of our culture, a lot of our society actually enforces this way of feeling where a lot of us are like, yeah, I'm busy. I got things to do. I got things to do. I got things going on. All the things that are going on in the back of our head while we're sitting there trying to do our affirmations. If our brain is saying one thing, we're saying, I'm wealthy, but our body is saying something completely different, we're going to stay stuck. We're going to stay frustrated. And this is where I see a lot of female entrepreneurs in their business. And the reason that they feel like they can't continue to move forward in the direction that they want to go. Their brain is saying one thing, but their body is saying something completely different. I don't know if you knew this, but 90% of the thoughts that we think every single day are actually the same thoughts that we had yesterday. So think about that for a minute. If you're looking to create change in your life, if you're looking to actually create a new life, a new business, a business that you absolutely love, that doesn't drain you, that doesn't make you feel frustrated or overwhelmed, and you're thinking the exact same thoughts that you thought yesterday that maybe weren't moving you forward in the direction you needed to go, you're not changing. You're staying stuck. And a lot of times, a lot of us get stuck in this loop where our brain is thinking one thing, our body is saying no, and we're still in the back of our subconscious mind, where 95% of our thoughts are going. Those are actually thoughts that we've already had the days previously, and that's what keeps us stuck. I know this is so frustrating. I have been here so many times where I've been like, what in the world? I want to move forward. I know I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm hitting this wall. And a lot of times that wall is because your mind and your body are not in sync. But here's the thing, I'm going to help you figure out how you can actually start getting your mind and your body back in sync so that you can actually start creating and manifesting in your business a business that you absolutely love, that doesn't overwhelm you and actually makes you so joyful and happy with where you're going. One of the biggest tweaks to positive thinking that I really hope that you can grab from this video is that instead of focusing so much on that positive thinking, I have to think I am wealthy, I am healthy, or all the things that you possibly could be thinking, what if instead you changed it to a more positive feeling where you actually felt your future. You actually felt what it would feel like to have a business that was thriving, to have people that worked with you, that you loved working with, to have customers that wanted to come back to you day after day after day. What would that feel like? Instead of thinking about it, ask yourself, ask your body, what would that feel like? Because you've spent so much time in your head, you've spent so much time thinking about it, but you've forgotten to unite your mind and your body together and actually create that feeling that's actually going to solidify what's going to be happening in your life and in your business. Now, I know that this is not an easy task because a lot of times, a lot of us are in that fight or flight, like I said, because our culture is saying, hey, we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. We're adding all these things on top of ourselves, on top of our business, and we're just in a state of anxiety, panic sometimes, and we just are keep thinking all the things that we have to get done. So how do you get your brain and your body back together in sync? Well, I'm so glad you asked because this is one of the biggest things that we like to talk about inside of Truth Bomb Marketing. In fact, our signature course, Unlocking My Millions, we actually spend time every single session before we get started, and we sit and we do a meditation that actually gets us back into the present moment so that we can actually focus on what is about to happen during training so that we can all get on the same page and actually get our mind and our body back in sync. So for me, my favorite way to get my mind and my body back in sync is through meditation. And that's the reason that we do include that inside of Truth Bomb Marketing. It actually can help to get your brain and your body back in sync. The thing that I hear from people more often than not around meditation is that they don't feel like they can actually meditate because they feel like when they sit there and they're bombarded with all of these thoughts that they can't actually meditate. Well, the thing is when it comes to meditation, it's first of all, it's a practice. There's going to be times where you are bombarded with all of these thoughts. But the beautiful thing about meditation is that it's not about having everything clear in your mind all the time. It's about noticing the thoughts and learning to let them go. This practice inside of meditation will serve you well when you get out into the world and you're bombarded with all the things that you have to do and you're reminded of how you felt during meditation with all of those thoughts coming in. You were bombarded by them and you learned to let them go. The same thing will start to happen in your day-to-day life as well, where you're bombarded by all the things you've got to do and you learn where you just need to let things go and just let things flow. It's probably one of my favorite practices because it's helped me to actually create this in my own life. Another thing that we teach inside of Truth Bomb is we teach practices like mindfulness. We do a lot of things like mindful coloring, actually practicing mindful senses, where we actually go through each one of the different senses and have you spend time and experience what those senses feel like. When was the last time that you just sat and you just smelled the air? Or when was the last time that you ate your food and you really savored it and you actually enjoyed it instead of rushing through it and ignoring the sensations that your body was giving you? Practicing mindfulness is one of those things that will serve you so well in your business that as you're building your business, you'll realize when you've been practicing mindfulness, you'll realize when things make you feel good and when they light you up and when things don't and when it's time to let things go. The beautiful thing about mindfulness is you can literally practice it all the time. In fact, for myself, what I do is I actually set an alarm on my phone that reminds me every hour to spend a moment in mindfulness. Yes, and I literally do this because I will look at my phone and I have a little heart icon that shows up every hour, and I spend some time focusing on the love that I have for myself, the love that I have for my business, and the love that I have for the life that I've already created. By practicing things like this every hour and bringing this into your life, you will absolutely start to notice that you feel differently, and then you start to think differently about your business. It's a beautiful synergy when you start to get your brain and your body back in sync instead of completely clashing and on a different level. The next thing that we teach inside of Truth Bomb is actually practicing breathing. A lot of us in today's day and age don't really know how to breathe. And I know that that sounds funny, but ask yourself, when you're in a state of fight or flight or you feel anxious, how are you breathing? A lot of times you're taking some short, choppy breaths. You're not actually filling up your abdomen. You're not filling up your lungs fully. You're just taking these short, choppy breaths. And when you're doing that, you're actually indicating to your body that you are not safe. And when it's not safe, it's not the time to actually create and manifest, and your brain and your body are no longer in sync. That's the reason that we do spend a lot of time talking about breathing, talking about actually focusing on our breath before we get started with just about any training. It's probably one of the easiest, simplest ways to actually get yourself back into a state of calm, relaxation, and ready to actually learn or do what you need to do in your business. It's so simple, but so many of us don't spend enough time actually doing this. So listen, friend, if you thought any of this sounded interesting and you want to know a little bit more about how you can actually start building your business with a more holistic focus on you and your business, then you're absolutely going to want to check out Unlocking My Millions. We've actually taken all of the business principles, the strategies that you need in order to be successful in your business, and we've married them perfectly together with all of these mindfulness, meditation, breathing exercises that can actually help you get back into the present moment and actually create a business from a more centered, whole, and fulfilled place. So if that sounds amazing to you, you're going to want to check out the link in the description where you're going to be able to grab Unlocking My Millions today and get started building a business that you absolutely love. I cannot wait to see you inside in Unlocking My Millions.